What's going on, everybody? Versus Z here, and we're going to be looking at Transformers Animated Deluxe Class Waspinator. He just arrived at Target around here in the Bay Area. Him and Samurai Prowl, and they were actually on sale today, and kind of an overstock sale today at Target for $8.99. Regular price $11.99. So it was a snatch for me. Though it was kind of a fight between him and Samurai Prowl, even though no brainer, I should have picked up Samurai Prowl. One Prowl's enough for me. I'll probably get Samurai Prowl later on if I really want him. Anyway, here's Waspinator in his wasp form. I say form because he technically isn't entirely a robot. He's another one of those things like Black Arachnia, a breed of a robot and an actual living organism. So he's a mutant, as suggested by his box description. He's a mutant madman, so therefore this is wasp form. He does have some nice clear purple plastic for his eyes right there, some points on his legs, both front and back, and of course his wings here. His only real gimmick, and probably his only gimmick throughout, is yeah, that's it. Anyway, regardless, it's a nice wasp looking thing. It doesn't look entirely biological. It doesn't look entirely robotic either, but it looks nice. His transformation, pretty easy. All you have to do is bring up that, bring his legs down, adjust his legs. Pretty much you already have a standing Waspinator right there. You can even adjust his stinger for balance. The arms are probably the only difficult part of this easy transformation, because what you have to do is you kind of have to take the arms apart, split them like that, split that, align these two tabs next to each other, then there's a peg and hole in there in his palm, I guess, and you peg that in, easy enough. And you want to rotate his arm while it's spread it out, do your thing with the arm, and then rotate it. So I'll do that once again here. The plastic is bendy around the arms area, so don't worry about trying to break it. I don't think it's going to happen. So yeah, get his arms associated. He's also got these weird alternate hands for some reason, so you just want to rotate them so that you can see the slot right there, the little gap. Bring it down. You can adjust his wings. I like them high up like that. Bring his head down. That'll reveal his robot head or mutant head, whatever. Bring in the chest. Everything should snap in place. These arms, they're on ball joints, so you can adjust them however you want to. Try to get him in like that. I try to get him like that. I don't know about you guys. Yep, for the most part, you have Waspinator in his robot form. You can just forget about the wings. You guys know the wings are back there. Or actually, there you go. His articulation. First of all, he does have light piping in his eyes. It doesn't look like it, but just turn it around. He has more clear plastic behind. It's not really showing up all too well, but he does have light piping. His head will rotate full 360. These here are the soft safety plastic. Ball jointed arms, shoulders. They'll rotate at the shoulder, bend at the elbow. Like I said, these are on ball joints and hinge joints. Ball joints up there, hinge there, so you can, I guess, pose them however you want them to be. No waist articulation except for back and forward, but that's because of the transformation. His legs, pretty articulate. Forward, back, rotating joint at the thighs. Single jointed knee bend, not too far. Also bend forward also. That's also thanks to his beast form. And hinge jointed feet. so they can go down that far and up that far. Overall, his articulation is pretty nice. Though the big downside of this is, he has no actual real accessory like a kind of a missile launching accessory or anything like that. But like I said, his only real gimmick is unfortunately the flapping wings. I don't know what good that's going to be. I would definitely trade that gimmick in for anything, like a sword maybe, a blade. I don't know. I would trade. I just know that I would trade this gimmick in for anything. But anyway, aside from his lack of accessories, he's still a nice posable figure. If posing is all you're gonna do, he can pull off some really, really creepy, predatory poses, like a maniac. Like, look at this, vicious, truly vicious. A lot more vicious looking than the original Waspinator. But I mean, his poses are pretty good. His articulation will allow for a lot of neat poses, but once again, the lack of like a weapon or something that he can hold in his hand really just kills and limits what you can pose. And I know that probably contradicts what I just said, but aside from the posability, or aside from the lack of accessory, he's still a nice figure. I mean, he's very posable, like I said, continuously. He's very posable. Well, let me just wrap things up. Overall, I think to get this figure, you probably would want to be a Waspinator fan or a Transformers Animated, exclusively Transformers Animated figure collector. Otherwise, if you were to pick between him and the simultaneously released Samurai Prowl, hands down you're going to pick Samurai Prowl, because he's got a lot more going on with him, and he's worth much more than what he is. But if you do plan on getting him, I definitely wait for like a sale or something. $8.99 should be fine. But I wouldn't pay more than $12 for him, though. His transformations, ratings. His beast form, his wasp form, I like it, so I'm gonna give it a 8. It's not entirely perfect, but I'm gonna give him an 8 for his wasp form. His transformations, a little too easy, so I'm gonna give that a 6, just because it's too easy. But the overall appeal for him, since I am a Waspinator fan, my overall appeal for him is gonna have to be an 8, or probably an 8.5 or something. But you don't have to take my opinion for it. If you like him, go ahead and get him. Don't let anyone stop you if you like him. He's definitely a good updated version of the original, in case you didn't get that. But if you're never a fan of Waspinator and never will be or whatnot, and you don't like the fact that he has no true accessory or whatnot, then I'd pass him up, go get Samurai Prowl, and probably get him for a clearance sale. This is Versus Z with the Waspinator review for Transformers Animated, from Transformers Animated. Thanks for watching, guys.